Welcome back, everybody. I'm still here at Automation, and I'm really happy to be joined by Cameron Sutter, who is from Plottr, and we're going to talk about your talk, how you found the table yesterday, and your demo. So why don't you give me a bit of background to what Plottr is?
Yeah, so Plottr is a visual way to see your story. So it's a software that helps you to visualize your story, and you can see the different threads of your story kind of weaving together.
Yep.
And it helps you to organize everything into a series Bible. And so I mean, that's the basics of what Plottr is.
So it's for fiction writers mostly. It's not for non-fiction.
It works great also for nonfiction,
okay.
But I mean, you just use it slightly differently, but it works great for both.
Yeah.
But mostly for fiction is what people use it for. Yeah.
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 So the way that it works, you don't write the story in Plottr itself. You write it somewhere else and then import it to make sure it's.
Yeah, or the other way around.
Right.
Either you start planning it in Plottr and then you export to like Word or something,
right,
and then start writing it, or the other way around. Yeah.
Right,
so you write it first and then put it in. Yeah.
Nice.
Either.
Okay. So let's go through the table first yesterday. So how did you find having the table? What was the reaction like to the software?
Yeah, so it was really interesting because, like I was telling you earlier, most of the people that I talked to already had Plottr, and that was like in years past. It was like most people hadn't heard of it, but
that's amazing. So that's really cool.
So I guess I mean, things are the word is being spread,
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny too because people would be like, I have a friend here and I use Plottr, she doesn't. Like, I'm trying to convince her to use it. So friends were convincing friends to use it. But we're trying to figure out some new offerings, and we have some new features coming up. And so I think even for people that are using it, we're going to be able to add some more value to that soon. And but it was kind of we didn't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, and so we're like trying to.
Is it still a secret, or is this a?
Yeah, I mean,
this isn't an exclusive.
No, I mean, we're working on a couple features that are important. Like I'll say we're working on a family tree feature.
Right.
So they're like a visual family tree, and
as in for like you've got characters and how they link to each other.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, amazing.
And a couple things that with AI and stuff, and so we weren't sure at first. Like, should we tell people because we have this event in December that we're gonna like let the cat out of the bag, and so we're like, do we tell people or not? But by the end, we're just like telling people to get people excited, So. Yeah.
I'm just going to move your microphone just up slightly. It's the lanyard's kind of flipped around it.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. Yeah, that's fine. That's amazing. Did the tool integrate with any of the other like writing softwares or anything so that you can put it all in together?
Yeah. So you can import and export from and to Word and Scrivener.
Yeah.
So if you've already written in Word or Scrivener, you can import to Plottr, and then you can export it to those, and it organizes it really well when you export it, because like with Scrivener, if you're familiar with that, like the corkboard, then it already puts it on the corkboard and already has that organized just the way you have it laid out in Plottr. So other than that, I mean, all the other writing softwares I think can just import a Word document. So I say that they work, I think they work.
Yeah, of course. So let's go through an example about how Plottr could work. So say I've got an idea for a novel. I've got a couple ideas of some characters and where I want the story to go. How would I use Plottr to build that story out? Yeah,
so what I'd start with is just get your ideas on paper or, on digital, whatever. And so just whatever you think you know already, it doesn't matter where yet, just put it down. Like, I think this character, this might happen, or there's one scene that I can imagine where this will happen, or I know this one character has to do this. So just get it in there. There's an area for characters. There's an area for the timeline of your story. Mm-hmm. So you can put them in the right area, but don't like try and organize them too much.
Okay.
And then depending on where you are in your writing journey and how familiar you are with writing a story, we've got a bunch of built-in templates, like for the hero's journey or for romance stories or mystery stories. Okay. So I would start with those templates, especially if you're not familiar with writing yet, or if it's your first time or something. Start with one of those templates that just kind of gives you the tentpole beats or like moments in a story that need to happen. So you'll get the template out there, and then you can start moving your pieces to where those need to be on the template. So like, the climax is going to be at the end, so I'll move that over to where the template says it should be. And then you want to put chapters in between the template pieces, of course, and you'll expand it, but that's a good place to start.
Great, okay. Because I'm not really a writer, and I didn't really, not a fiction writer anyway.
Okay, yeah.
So I didn't really understand that everyone literally followed some of these like templates, I thought it was kind of, this is what you should be thinking about when you're writing.
Oh yeah.
But when I was speaking to like big writers like Kevin Anderson and people like that, they said, yeah, they literally use books like, you know, Save the Cats and things like that, and that for their first books, you can follow it step by step to try and get that out.
Exactly. And for some genres, it's like really important to follow those exactly. Like romance and mystery, they're very formulaic.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to hit those beats exactly and in the right order, especially with romance. You got to hit the beats. And so those templates are like, you got to hit them exactly.
Yeah.
And so for even an experienced author that wants to be able to hit those beats, those templates really help, because it's almost like paint by number.
Yeah.
You can just put the pieces where they belong and boom, you got a story and now you can go write it. So.
Yeah. If you've got those templates, but if say a novel is slightly longer, or if it maybe it has waves where it goes up and down, can you change those templates so that the beats happen at different times and things like that?
Yeah, so they're just put in there in our best guess of where they should go. It doesn't even like try and analyze where in your story you have it already. It just puts them all on there in order, and then you can put scenes and things in between them and move them around and things like that. So yeah, it's still flexible.
That's really cool. So the most people using Plottr at the moment, are they sort of newer writers, or are you finding that people are using it once and keeping it for like their further books later on?
So the majority of people that use it, it's they're beginning in their author journey. Mm-hmm. They're writing their first book, or they want to write their first book, or they've only written a couple. But we still find that it's really valuable for people, and there are several that have written dozens of series or multiple series that are still using it. And for them, it becomes a series Bible, and that's the big value for them, because they already know how to write a story. They probably don't need the templates, but keeping all those details organized from one book to the next. And if you're in book 10 of a series, or even book 3, trying to keep all the details of book 1 organized, or remember those, so that you can, what was that one character and what eye color, those kind of things. After several books, you're just not going to remember them.
So that's interesting about the series, because how does that work with Plottr, having the series Bible, you called it? Is it like just you've got the plots from the previous books so you can refer back to them, or does it save them in a slightly different way?
Yeah, so each project in Plottr works for a whole series.
Yeah.
And so you can see all the different plots for each book.
Yeah.
But the character area and like the notes for world building or brainstorming or whatever, those apply to the whole series. So they're always there no matter what book you're writing. Whereas the plots, you can just switch between them to see all the different ones in the series. And there's actually a series view where it's like a bird's eye view to see the whole series as if each book were one chapter in a bigger story.
Yeah.
So you can plan for like, okay, this happens in book 1 and book 2, but in between there's something, or like the character arc for this one character has to go throughout the whole series. So
yeah. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
You sound like you've got a lot of experience about. Are you a writer yourself?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've never actually finished a series.
Okay.
I've started a few series, and I've written book 2 and never published book 2.
Okay.
Because I get excited and go on to the next series.
You need an app to plot out the stories.
Something like that, yeah. If only there was something like that, I'm just, because I've been trying to run the business to help authors, I just don't write as much, which is so funny. I made a tool for myself to write, and then I don't write. But I finally got back into writing last year, and I'm on like chapter 5 of a new book that I'm writing. And so, I said last year, but it was like, I felt like that wasn't too long ago, but no, it's already November of this year. So holy cow. But yeah, I'm on chapter 5 of a book, and I'm making progress. I'm back to writing,
What's your first book? Are you allowed to reveal it? Is it?
Yeah, so it's like a Indiana Jones treasure hunt adventure kind of story.
That sounds like a bit of me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the story of like a secret history that throughout time, Hitler and Columbus and all of them were trying to actually gather these 16 stones of power, and that's what the world has been fighting over secretly.
Right,
so
okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What's it called?
Tellurian Sons.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put notes in the show notes.
Okay, yeah, if you can find it or spell it. It's a hard one to spell. I should have named it better, but
yeah. Yeah, good. So tomorrow you're doing a hands-on demo of Plottr to the people who are here. Tell us about how that demo is going to work. Have you got any examples you're using that we can share?
Yeah, so yesterday I also gave a demo, and as far as I understand, the one that I'm giving on Wednesday is in what they call the Tech Cafe.
Right, okay.
And so that's more of like a question and answer session. And just like as people come and ask me, I'll go through whatever they need,
Cool. Right.
But the demo yesterday, I take the story of the 3 little pigs.
Okay.
Because it's very simple and short, and almost everybody knows that story.
Okay.
So I take the 3 little pigs and I show how to lay it out in Plottr. And then I show them another version of the 3 little pigs and show them how you can go more in depth to these characters and really show how they change throughout the story.
Right, okay.
Because it's not just one thing in this character is changing usually, and it depends on the character, but a lot of times different aspects of a character will change and the relationships change and things like that. So being able to see those changes, multiple layers of those changes, that's what I go over. So I show that, and then I show the characters area. And yesterday I talked about new features that were coming, like the family tree and things like that. So
how can you change the plot of 3 Little Pigs? How do you do that?
Well, I just added more depth to the characters, and so it kind of added...
One of the pigs has got a child or something like that.
Well, I mean, the wolf has kids, and that's why he's trying to feed his starving kids.
Oh, so now you feel sorry for the wolf.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And so it kind of does change the story, and it opens up to he needs a sequel because his story isn't over. He doesn't get food for his kids, but we want him to succeed,
Yeah. Okay, really interesting. I'd love to see that. I have to watch the recording of that.
I'll write that story someday.
Yeah. Okay, so finally, obviously, we're at an amazing conference. Why do you come to this conference specifically, but also to just generally conferences? What do you get out of them? Like, is it just meeting people, or is it something else you like to get out of them?
Yeah. So one of the great things about
2 seconds. Sorry, it's just kind of it's too lanyard.
Yeah.
Sorry
about that.
That's right.
Hopefully, it wasn't like that for long.
That's fine.
Hopefully, okay.
We can change them. Yeah. I'll start the question again. So, obviously, we're at an amazing conference here, the Author Nation in Las Vegas. What do you get out of going to conferences, especially this one? Do you like going to them? Do you meet people? What's your main aim?
Yeah. So having kids and traveling makes it difficult.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, it's hard to come to conferences, but for the most part, it's great, especially to be part of the community.
Yeah.
And really, does it have a return on investment to be here? I don't know. We haven't crunched the numbers usually, and it usually doesn't make sense monetary wise to come to these. But meeting people and hearing their feedback, and for them to be able to talk to the person who's creating the tool they're using, and to get their ideas, and just feel like it's not just you writing at home, or writing for people that only read your emails. It's like living, breathing people. You get to see them, talk to them in person, and feel like, we all have a common goal of helping people to have an amazing experience in a book, and hopefully change the world a little bit, at least one person's world. And so, that aspect of it is awesome. And that's why I write. I love that hope that we bring to the world.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great chatting to you.
Yeah.
Good luck with the rest of your conference and
you.
Your talks and things like that. And we'll speak again soon.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Publishing Performance podcast. I really hope you found today's episode inspiring. I love chatting to authors, writers, and people in the publishing world. Now, just before we wrap up, let me tell you about Publishing Performance, the #1 platform for authors who want to increase Amazon book sales, but are not really sure where to start. Now, this show is all about helping you to sell more books. And if you're looking to boost your publishing game and to maximize your book's potential on Amazon, then Publishing Performance is designed to help authors just like you to grow your readership and to reach a much wider audience. Now, I know that Amazon ads can be slightly complicated, which is why Publishing Performance is like having a personalized ad account manager to create your ad campaigns, to choose your best keywords, and to make adjustments in real time. Now, if you're investing in ads, you really want to make sure that your investment is being used effectively, and Publishing Performance does just that. It aims to make your budget go further, improve your organic rank, and target keywords more effectively. Just go to publishingperformance.com to get started with Amazon ads for just $1.